defense, what's kind of primary focus with having a bye week in the sense of trying to fine-tune things and self-scout?
Yeah, I mean, there are some guys that were moving around a little bit, some positions, some roles, just trying to continue to find the right place for everybody. But obviously, we just got to play better as a whole. So, I mean, we're working all scenarios, whether it's third downs, whether it's some of the run game stuff that we got to continue to clean up. Tackling has been an emphasis, making sure we're setting the edge better. So, just a lot of different things, and trying to put them together in order that the guys can understand what we're trying to coach and how we're trying to coach it, and they can apply it.
Coach mentioned that DJ's lost for the season, out for the season. How do you try to fortify depth at that position? Kind of who's the next guy up there you're trying to work into?
Yeah, well, he didn't play at all last week, so that was the start of it. And so, we've been playing some of those younger players in a prominent role here for a number of weeks, and their roles and reps just kind of continue to mount up. So, looking forward to seeing what they do here moving forward.
Coach, after the Clemson, there's kind of 2 weeks in a row of explosive plays for the other team. How do you guys kind of limit that, and how much does the bye week kind of help you guys find the solutions?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. We're not trying to give up one, and however it plays, whether it's a run play, and the response to them were good, but we don't need to be in those situations, and it's frustrating. Trying to do everything I can to make sure we're trying to stop it, and a few of those times, just whether it's a missed tackle or it's a misfit, and things that got to be cleaned up in order for us to play winning football.
When guys are in position to maybe make a play on the ball and it's not happening, is that usually just mental, like being more aggressive, or what's usually the key to finishing those plays?
It's just a poor play, and sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's confidence, sometimes it's angles, but if you say in the right position to make a play, usually it's none of that. It's just go do it, and in the moment, that's part of playing winning football. Then, when those moments come up in the game, whether it's a tackle, a pick, a catch, like, you got to execute, you got to go make them. That's how good teams win. And when you don't make them, they turn into explosives, and you end up fighting an uphill battle. So, we got to continue to find the right guys and put them in the right positions, and we got to go make those one-on-one plays. We have to in order to play winning football.
Adam, when they got into the red zone 8 times, they were in the red zone. It seemed like you guys played pretty good in the red zone.
Well, for the most part, we've been getting better. I mean, we were really poor the first couple of weeks of the season. I've never really, I don't think I've ever coached in a game where somebody tried 7 field goals. And some of that's good that they're lining up field goals, but some of that isn't, right? You don't need to be down there. And some of those were explosives, and responses to explosives. Was proud of us blocking 2 of the kicks. I thought our last effort on the last field goal was really, really good. No reason we don't get our hands on that one as well. And so, the red zone has cleaned up. Some of that comes with just guys playing with each other and comfortable in small areas and spaces, because there's so many pass offs down there. And so our run defense has been getting, a little bit more firm, but still, too many plays that have gotten out.
In the red zone, when the field gets compressed like that, does that help you play better in the red zone? Your safeties can
they need less vertical yards. We have, so, they're down there, but I mean, obviously the passing game isn't as deep, so you get to play horizontally a little bit more. But, people, I think the NCAA constitutes the red zone inside the 20 or something, and, those routes are pretty much the same. Once you get inside like the 12, 11, those are the yard lines, that usually those bender routes and those vertical shots really slow down.
How impactful are these developmental practices for the players, and how much can you kind of trust guys who see what they do out on the practice field?
Well, you trust a lot, because we're in a developmental practice sport. 5-to-1 is the ratio, so it's everything. As far as what you need, what you got to get, and I'm a true believer. If you're a guy that goes out there and makes his tackles, breaks balls up, picks balls off, creates fumbles, that stuff carries over to games, and making sure that we don't get caught up in the practice routine of getting off blocks, playing. Hi, Keem.
Spell it.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Spell it.
Hykeem.
You better know it.
Yes, sir. But we have to believe that is connected to that, and not just with effort, not just with practice habits, but with really practice execution, and also just the ability to be productive in practice too. And so I think that's where you build your confidence of playmakers, and that's where you build your confidence of carrying that over to game day.
Is that terms of getting takeaways, generating takeaways, is that the biggest part of that? Or
Yeah, some. I
what's the
mean,
key to that?
you know, I thought we had a great opportunity for a few the other night, and you know, just we're not making them. And you know, so I'm constantly trying. Am I doing enough to get enough people around the ball? Am I putting the right people where the ball's going to get thrown? You know, I mean, because at the end of the day, let's be honest. If it isn't working, it's all on me. It really is. I mean, because I'm putting them out there, I'm putting them in position, or I'm not. And so constantly, you've got to deal with that success and failure, because that's the job of a coach.
The move of Earl back to safety, is that, you feel like that's going to work?
Yeah, well, do I feel like it's going to work? I didn't do it because I thought it was going to fail. But, you know, I started him at nickel, and just, I think what we saw from him and then what we saw out of Kevin and Ed and Jabril and at safety, it's all part of it. It's not, I always say this, when we're making decisions, it's for the best interest of them individually, but it's got to be in the best interest of the team at 51%, right? And it's always that, right? I'd like to do whatever is best for the individual every time. But if that goes against the team, and that's one of those, I mean, Earl was for it, and he wanted it, to be honest with you. And so he's got some natural tackling ability to him. And so, you know, we moved them, you know, about 2 weeks ago, and we want to give him the reps, get through the bye week, and then try to get him ready to go here coming up this week.
Is Sean Murphy a guy that could also step up for DJ Lundy? I know he's been up in the year. But
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, he's been limited, you know, and he's trying to battle back. He's doing everything he can. So it's hard to say, but, you know, we think there's something there with him. It just, we got to get him on the field to really see what it looks like.
Good.
Thanks.